Tonight, the latest stay-at-home order is having a big impact on Valley businesses, and there are growing concerns that many will soon have to shut down permanently. I spoke today with the CEO of the Palm Springs Chamber of Commerce, Nona Watson. Nona, it's so good to see you again. Thanks for joining us.
Peter, thank you for having me.
This has certainly been a very challenging year for businesses, and now we have new lockdown restrictions. What are you hearing from Valley businesses, and do they think these restrictions are fair?
Well, of course, they don't think they're fair. And we have several coalition of businesses that are getting together to try and see if we can make any kind of rhyme or reason out of this and if there's anything we can do about it. But, you know, it's hard. It's hard. The timing of it's hard right before Christmas. It's hard to let people go. It's hard to rethink your business strategies now right before the holidays. And we were so looking forward and everything was working so well, you know, especially in Palm Springs. I mean, the downtown was beautiful. The businesses just did an amazing job. The restaurants being out in the parklets and the retail stores. So we created this great experience. And so to have to go backward, it really does hurt.
It really hurts. As you know, Nona, I recently did an I-team investigation on all of the closures throughout the Valley. That list is at least 40 and growing. Are you concerned that this is going to lead to even more closures?
Well, of course, that's always something that we worry about at the chamber, is that businesses can't hold on any longer. I think one of our most important jobs right now is to go to the state and federal and city level and see what programs and services there are out there for our businesses that could maybe help get them through. Is there another round of PPP coming up? You know, are there assistant grants coming up or even loans? I know the mayor, Jeff Kors, and I are putting together a Zoom call for our businesses just so we can have representatives explain to our business community what's available for them so they can take advantage of it and hopefully get us through the next 21 days. And then we hope that our numbers look better. And then with the vaccine, maybe we're going to go in the right direction in 2021. But our job right now is to work hard to see what we can do. We can't change what the governor said, but we can certainly try to find assistance for our business community.
Riverside County Sheriff Chad Bianco recently announced that he does not plan to enforce the governor's orders. Does that incentivize, do you think, businesses not having to comply with these regulations? And do you think that there are businesses who are not going to follow those rules?
And Peter, not that I've heard. I think our business community is very respectful for what our city government has said are the rules. I think we do a great job of reinforcing those rules. So I walked the city last night. Everybody seemed to be complying. Nobody, but you know, it's nice even for me to hear that somebody's saying, wait a minute, you know, but I think as far as our businesses go, they're complying.
One of the things that really strikes me about all this is, and this isn't a surprise, but the Valley is so dependent on tourism. And when that goes away, obviously it has a huge ripple effect. Is this sort of a wake-up call, do you think, that we need to do more to diversify our local economy and not be so dependent on tourists?
Well, I think it's a good point, but Palm Springs is known for tourism. And I mean, it's been that way as far as I know. I've been coming to Palm Springs since senior ditch day in high school, you know. So I think that even because we have the visitor center in our office now, so I see all the visitors coming in and I listen to all the phone calls and people still want to come. The good news is that it's this way almost everywhere. So it's not just California or it's not just Palm Springs. And so I think we're educating our visitors that are coming into what our rules are. They still want to come. They still want to hike. They still want to bike. Can we still go to the tram? I think everybody's modifying their travel plans. And I think some people will change their mind, but I really think Palm Springs is known for tourism and it just shines in that area. And that's what we're all about. So I'm hoping we just get through this the best we can. And then maybe it gives us a better appreciation for our tourists down the road.
Yeah, that's a good point. When you look back, Nona, on 2020, we're about to get into 2021. What do you think the big takeaway of this year has been for our businesses?
Well, the big takeaway for me is, I've really, it's made me so thankful, and so appreciative of the things that we had in the past, the freedoms that we had to be able to come and go. I don't think if you would have said a year ago, if we could have looked in a crystal ball and somebody would have said, this is what you're going to be doing in less than a year, nobody would have believed it. I think we take our freedoms for granted, that we can come and go and do the things that we please. And at the chamber, we were doing such large events, and this has really given us a chance to slow down and look at what we're doing and how we create value. But it's also given us a chance to reconnect with the business community on a more personal level, because now we have the time. When we call and we say, what can we do for you? Is there something that you need? We give out masks or, supplies, or it just anything that we can do. It's a more personal connection, so that when we do open up and everybody gets so busy again going forward, we still have that relationship. And I think for me, that's been the biggest takeaway.
Are you hopeful that this time next year, will we be back to where we were before the pandemic?
That's my hope. I hope it's even before. I hope it's as soon as possible. Absolutely. And I think, we're a resilient city. I think once we're able to open up again, we're going to pick up that ball and just run with it. And I know that Palm Springs is going to survive this, and that next year is going to be a really good year for us. And we're all going to be very thankful that we can do the things that we want to do again and be with the people we want to be with again.
You are so right about that. Nona, as always, it's a pleasure speaking with you. Thanks so much for joining us.
Well, thank you for having me. I love it.